Aarush was just 12 when life stopped feeling like childhood. His home, once filled with laughter and the smell of hot rotis, had turned into a battlefield. His parents fought over everything: money, blame, disappointment. Their voices filled the house like thunder. Glasses broke. Doors slammed. His mother wept silently. His father drank silently. And no one noticed Aarush. No one asked if he had a ten. No one heard his quiet tears in the dark. At school, he sat alone in the back. His notebooks were empty, his uniform dirty. He had stopped drawing, stopped smiling, stopped dreaming. He used to want to be a scientist. Now, he wanted to be nothing. Each day, he carried one question in his heart like a heavy stone. Why am I even here if no one cares? One evening, after an especially violent night at home, Aarush walked out. He walked past the fields, past the last hut of the village, until he reached the edge, where a giant banyan tree stood by the river, its roots stick like snakes, its branches wide like arms. Beneath it sat a wooden bench, half broken, covered in old leaves. Aarush sat down. The wind blew softly to the branches, and for the first time in weeks, he felt something close to peace. Looking at the quiet river, he whispered, "I want to disappear like this river." Just then, an old woman slowly walked toward the bench. Her white sari fluttered in the breeze. Her silver hair was tied back neatly. She held a stick in one hand and the cloth bag in the other. She didn't ask him what was wrong. She just sat beside him. After a few minutes, she said softly, "You want to give up, don't you?" Aarush looked at her, startled. Her eyes were calm and kind, filled with something he hadn't seen in a long time: understanding. Everyone in the village called her Kamla. She sold herbal medicines and lived alone. People said she had seen too much sorrow, but she never spoke of it. She looked at him and said, "I used to sit right here, Jew. After my husband left me, after my son died of fever, when I thought there was nothing left for me, I had no one. I was your age when pain first knocked on my door. But pain is not the enemy. It's the teacher." Aarush blinked. He had never heard anyone speak like that before. Kamla continued, "You think you are weak because you feel broken. But the truth is, the strongest people are the ones who survive the things no one ever sees." That was the first of many evenings. Every day after school, Aarush came to the banyan tree. Kamla never gave long speeches. Sometimes she told him old folk stories. Sometimes she let him speak without interrupting. Sometimes they just sat in silence, watching the river flow. Over time, Aarush began to breathe differently. He started reading again, not for marks, but for meaning. He started writing his thoughts in an old diary Kamla gave him. He began helping her gather herbs and deliver medicine. And slowly, he found a purpose inside himself. Years passed. At 27, Aarush stood on a stage, facing a hall full of students. He wore a black suit and a small badge with a tree on it. He was now a mental health counselor, a published author, and the founder of an NGO that supported children from broken homes. He never forgot the pain. He never forgot the silence. And he never forgot Kamla, who passed away peacefully under the very banyan tree where she had once sat beside a broken boy. In her memory, Aarush built a small library and shelter beside that tree. He named it Roots of Strength, for every child who thinks pain is the end. It's not. It's the beginning. Moral of the story: Problems in life are not meant to destroy us. They are like storms that shake the roots of who we are. But once the storm passes, we grow deeper, wiser, and stronger. Real success isn't about avoiding pain. It's about living through it, learning from it, and using it to rise. You don't become strong when life is easy. Let's learn from the story. 1. Battlefield. Meaning, a place where fighting happens. Used metaphorically for a place of conflict. Example, the home felt like a battlefield, with arguments breaking out every day. 2. Thunder. Meaning, the loud noise after lightning during a storm. Used to describe loud, booming voices. Example, their voices filled the house like thunder, shaking the walls. 3. Wept. Meaning, cried, often quietly or sadly. Example, his mother wept silently in her room. 4. Silent, elvi. Meaning, without making any sound. Example, his father drank silently, avoiding any eye contact. 5. Quiet, quietly. Meaning, making little or no noise. Example, no one heard his quiet tears in the dark. 6. Uniform. Meaning, the standard clothing worn by students at school. Example, Aarush's uniform was dirty because he didn't care to change.